Okay, so you did it. You finally bought the house. But the kitchen countertops are kind of stuck in 2012, and you're staring down a $50,000 quote to fix it. You tell yourself, hey, it's an investment in my home. But what if you're actually just torching your financial future? Let's really dig into the difference between looking rich and actually being wealthy.
Yet, this quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? We've all been sold this idea of success, that you have to be able to see, something you can post on Instagram. But as we're about to find out, that visible wealth often comes at the direct expense of building the real thing.
You know, there's actually a name for this little psychological trap. It's called the Diderot effect. It's the reason why, the moment you get those beautiful new kitchen countertops, your old dining room table suddenly looks, well, shabby. Then you notice the flooring doesn't quite match, and before you know it, you're stuck in this endless upgrade spiral that completely drains your ability to save a dime.
To make this super clear, let's actually follow two couples. On one side, we've got Sarah and Mark. They decide to take out a $50,000 loan to get their absolute dream kitchen. On the other side, we have Emma and David. They've got the same house, but they're about to make a radically different choice with that exact same amount of money.
And look, this trap isn't just for houses, not at all. Let's take Marcus. He's got a brand new $55,000 truck with a monthly payment of almost $900. It looks successful, right? But now compare him to Tyler, who's driving a paid-off Camry. Tyler's lack of a car payment meant he could invest that money instead. Over a decade, what would have been truck payments turned into nearly $200,000. One has a depreciating truck, the other has a financial future.
All right, so if all these shiny status symbols are just traps, how the heck do you break free? Well, it doesn't start with some million-dollar goal. It starts by building your first line of defense, a financial shield that takes you from constant stress to real, actual control.
Oh man, we've all been there, right? Lying awake at 3 a.m., your mind just racing through every possible worst-case scenario. What if the car breaks down? What if I lose my job? What if the dog needs surgery? What is the real, tangible antidote to that gut-wrenching feeling?
It's this number. Seriously, not a million, not even 100,000. The very first amount that fundamentally changes your life is $10,000. And look, this isn't just some number I pulled out of a hat. It is a massive psychological and mathematical turning point. Reaching this one milestone does some pretty incredible things. Neuroscientists have actually found it literally lowers the stress hormone cortisol in your brain. All of a sudden, a check engine light isn't a catastrophe anymore. It's just an annoyance. You stop playing defense with your money, and you free up all this mental energy to start thinking about growth, about opportunities, about a future that isn't just about paying the next bill. Okay, so you're dodging the traps, you've built up your shield, now what? Well, this is the part that almost everyone gets wrong. There is a very specific, absolutely crucial order to investing your money that can dramatically, and I mean dramatically, accelerate your results. Before we even dive into the steps, we have to start right here. Your employer's 401k match, that's a guaranteed instant return on your money. We're talking 50, maybe even 100%. There is no stock, no crypto, no investment on planet Earth that can beat that. Not taking this free money is literally like setting part of your paycheck on fire every single month. And the absolute key here is to follow the sequence exactly as it's laid out. First, you finish that emergency fund. Get it done. Second, you attack any high-interest debt, because that credit card is costing you way more than the stock market can reliably make you. Third, get that full employer match. And only then do you move on to maxing out an IRA, which gives you more control, then an HSA for its insane triple tax advantage, and finally, you loop back to finish maxing out your 401k.
And here's the wild part. Just by following that order, you're not earning more, you're not picking some hot stock, you're just following the right process. You immediately jump into the top 5% of savers in the entire country. It's that powerful because it's a system built on pure math, not on emotion or guesswork.
See, once you get that foundation set, the whole dynamic of your financial life starts to shift. You move out of that state of just trying to get by and into a phase where you are actively building a future where your money finally starts working for you.
Remember that $10,000 milestone we talked about? Well, at $20,000, something even bigger happens. Your brain fully exits what psychologists call survival mode. You're no longer just reacting to threats. You start proactively looking for opportunities. You now have what's called walking away money, and that gives you incredible leverage in your career and in your life. And this is where the math gets really, really cool. Saving your first 20 grand might take you, let's say, 19 months. But that second 20 grand, that might only take 17. And the third, maybe just 15. Why?
because now your money is working right alongside you, generating its own returns. The process literally gets faster and easier the longer you do it.
This right here, this is the magic moment. It's the crest of the hill. Everything before this point feels like you're pushing a giant boulder uphill, but everything after this point, it feels like gravity is finally on your side.
So let's bring this all home and talk about what the actual goal is here. We've been taught to chase a version of wealth that is loud, it's flashy, it's visible. But the real prize, the one that grants you true freedom, is something else entirely.
Let's check back in with our two couples. So after 10 years, Sarah and Mark, the renovators, have paid a grand total of $72,000 for a kitchen that is now, well, it's considered dated. Emma and David, our investors, they also spent $72,000, but they just put it into the market. They now have about $110,000 in their account and a perfectly functional kitchen.
And that right there is the fundamental difference. One couple spent all their money to fund the appearance of wealth. The other couple quietly, patiently built actual wealth. One built something that looks impressive on the surface but has a really fragile foundation. The other built a solid financial structure, completely hidden from view.
So I guess I'll just leave you with this. Real wealth isn't the new truck or the fancy renovated kitchen. It's the paid-off Camry and the boring investment account that's quietly compounding in the background. It's the freedom to say no. It's the power to direct your own life. The only question left is, which one are you building?